All right, so the finish is done on this, and I think it looks pretty nice. I'm not that worried about a well, you know what, actually, first let me talk about the finish. I did a wipe-on varnish kind of a thing, like a true or yeah, like a tongue oil, but it wasn't like actually tongue oil. It's just a wipe-on varnish, Minwax, and it says 24 hours for it to dry and then recoat and all of that. I did probably 5 coats or so. And one thing to notice, I checked online, researched, did all of that jazz, and they said like, oh, I do like 15 minutes and then recoat it. Like, you don't have to wait 24 hours. So I was like, okay, well, I'll kind of vibe it out, see how it looks. Put on the first coat. It looks great going on because like all the grain kind of pops out because it has like that wet look and everything. And I was very surprised that it was dry, like dry to the touch, in like 15 minutes. So I was awesome. I'm gonna have this done in a day, a couple of hours to have it done. Put the next thing on, and I didn't check it 15 minutes later. I think I put a coat on and then went and did something or whatever. I have this down in my basement in a bathroom with the fan going to vent any fumes. So I came back down, checked it, and I'm like, awesome. Put on a third coat, checked it, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes later on the third coat, and it was like still sticky. So it's like, huh, okay. So then I think I left it like overnight because it was like later in the day or whatever. So the next morning, took a look at it, everything, another coat. In like all day, it was still kind of tacky to the touch. So I think what ends up happening is the first couple of coats soak right into the wood and dry really fast. Then you're putting finish on top of finish, and it just sits there, and it takes forever to dry. So anyway, 5 or 6 coats, whatever I put on this. I wasn't really counting, and I did like some spot coats, like I did in a previous video where you see some spots where it's like, okay, this sort of didn't soak in as much, so put a little extra on. So 5 or 6 coats, whatever. It has now been drying for a good over 24 hours. I think, I forget, day and a half or something. Almost 2 days, whatever. And I went around looking for a little scrubby, and all I could find was the dark green ones. And I don't want to do green in case it leaves dark green coloring. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm new at this. So I figured I would try this one. This was the lightest color that I could find. Kind of a bummer. I couldn't find white or yellow or anything. So this is kind of the lightest one, and I didn't wet it. It's hard when it comes out of the package, so I'm just kind of softening it up. I'm not looking for a super gloss finish. I want like a matte finish, so it's like really kind of smooth and, you know, inviting to the touch, kind of like a warm sheen. So that's what I'm gonna do, and all I'm going to attempt here is just sort of knock a little bit of the shine off of it. You can see, I think in the video, it looks like right here. You can see where it's pretty shiny, where the light is hitting it. So I'm just going to go over the whole thing. So let's try it. Let's see. Okay, so right there, it looks like in the little video camera monitor, this is bright. So let's see what happens. And I'm just going really lightly, and I figure I'm going to go kind of like all around, like sort of like one of those orbital sander things that just kind of go like random. I don't want to necessarily go with the grain, because at this point the grain's covered. It's all been finished. So it should be good. And I'm just kind of seeing what happens. Oh, it feels much better. It looks about the same in the monitor, but it feels nice and smooth. Like here, it's kind of sticky, and then you get to here and it kind of smooths out under the touch. So that's all I'm going to do. Nothing too exciting. A bit on the back of the neck, just so that I have a nice matte finish and everything. And that's about it. So I'm going to do that and the whole thing. And then, oh, and it looks like it didn't leave any color or anything. Going to do that for the whole thing, and I'll be back with another video at some point.